Why is the fire light going off here?
That is something we should look into.
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
The alarm. Yep.
The alarm doesn't go off in the studio.
Get the door open. That's the sound.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
Yap. Shut up, you two. It's the Ron and Fez Show live again. The 2006 fire is over.
Somehow we lived to tell about it.
All right, so when we last talked, it was about a half an hour ago, right?
Yep.
The alarms were going off in the building, and we spent about 2-3 minutes deciding whether or not it was real. Now, in the old pre-9/11 days, we would have worked through any alarm. You just never really ever thought your place could catch on fire. Post 9/11, you're one of those people, you don't want to be caught upstairs in a building that's ablaze.
You're just not going to take a chance. It's not worth risking it.
So eventually, Master Poe came in. He gave us the let's move, guys, let's move. Well, first of all, Dave is screaming like a child. He yells at me, I'm going to take the elevator, which he never does anyway. Why were you yelling that?
I got totally mixed up. That was really one of the most harrowing experiences of my life.
You don't take an elevator in the fire. Then we sent him out to go see if you smell smoke anywhere, because we don't see anything around here. Dave comes running up and yells, it's on 4. And little Johnny yells back, we're on 5. So a panic comes up. There is no fire right there.
There isn't a fire as far as I know, but honestly, I did smell smoke. As soon as those alarms
Why
go
would
off.
you? Because there's no smoke in this building.
He said he smelled smoke in here as soon as he heard the alarm.
Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure there was some smoke somewhere, but it was...
No, there wasn't.
God.
There wasn't
none.
any.
I have to do my own research, but
The fire department showed up and said there's no problems.
I'm still a little bit wobbly from it. The alarms.
So we were all being forced, go out. Earl would not leave his post until he got everything set up properly to stay on the air. And Earl yelled, you go, I'm fine. It was like we were in Black Draft, ladies and gentlemen. It was Black Draft 2006, where Earl is the hero. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Earl. All the spirit points are taken off of Dave for the panic.
Oh, wow.
Given to Earl, and Team Bennington has declared today's winner.
Can't help it if those fire alarms were just insanely, European and frightening. I've heard...
There was nothing European.
I've heard, bomb raid sirens from, the 40s, and seriously, someone has to update a nicer sounding fire alarm.
This is an old building. Hey, Casper, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, you guys got to let people know when you leave. You had me freaking out here. I'm like, I know I've heard this, and I check my pad data, and it's still live, and I call up, and they put me on hold. I was freaking out.
Yeah, it was.
I thought I was dreaming about your future shows or something.
Yeah, it was.
You are.
Yeah, it was a Back to the Future moment.
You're freaking me out.
Earl did the smart thing, and he threw a best of on, and then finally he saved himself. And let's face it, we should have been back up here even sooner, but one of us was smoking a cigar. Did anybody reach Wiki during the 2006 fire?
I believe 3 of us tried to get a hold of him, and none of us got a hold of him.
Did you text him?
No, I didn't text him. But everyone, I think there was 3 people, and myself included, were trying to get a hold of him.
I had left my phone and all my valuables up here worth $50,000. I probably need to fill out a damage report.
Oh, by the way, when we were at the second floor, I noticed I didn't have my BlackBerry, and I sent Dave back to get it for me.
I pulled my jeans jacket over my head. I'm like, I know I'm going through flames for this fucking BlackBerry.
I should wet this first.
I got a lot of information on there. You did the right thing.
I had to.
That BlackBerry is more valuable to this show than you are.
Dave, after his thing of, I'm getting in the elevator, and it's on 4, making everyone think there's a fire on 4. Once we're downstairs on the sidewalk outside, he comes up to me and he goes, I can't believe how good you guys kept your composure.
It was really scary.
Panic doesn't help, Dave, under any circumstances.
You weren't a little bit unraveled by those alarms?
I was when I saw the fact that everybody else, like Master Poe and Mars, were taking it pretty seriously. Then we went outside and all the other businesses were taking it seriously. And again, pre-9/11, nobody would have been act like this stupid old building. You just wouldn't have act like you were into a fire situation. Now everybody's ready to believe.
Now you know it could be real. Before, it never seemed real. Before.
Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
You know what was really nice about that best of?
Yeah.
No Dave.
Oh, man.
Dave, there is hate for you, buddy, and that's why you lost your spirit points, because you need to turn into Earl and start to keep it together when we need you.
I was just trying to get you guys out of this building as quickly as possible. I've seen the Discovery Channel, little films of how to exit a fire, and it's fast, it's move, it's get out.
Speaking of, I have a new dream right now for the whole show.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Discovery Channel, there's a brand new show that's on. I don't think it's that new, a couple months old at least, that I want us to be on. It's called Cash Cab. You get into a cab, all these lights go on, and you find yourself in a big trivia game, and you have to answer all these questions before you get to your stop.
Oh, I want to be in Cash Cab.
That's cool.
You can win $500, and then they double it with a video challenge at the end, which is all or nothing.
How big is this cab?
Well, it's one of the big ones, like the van types.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there is a possibility that one time when we grab a cab, we'll find ourselves on Cash Cab.
I will be great at Cash Cab. Well, maybe not
you'll
so much.
panic and head for the elevator.
Hey, Tommy, you're on Ron and Fez. Tommy, can you hear me?
Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Dave. He's hilarious.
Why don't you come over to his house tonight? He lives in Queens. He gives out his address all the time.
Watch Game 1, Heat Pistons.
It's a long way, but what's for dinner?
What did you eat last night? You said you were having 7-Up and Sour Patch Kids?
7-Up, Sour Patch Kids popcorn, and then for a real meal, I had chili beans and corn. That's the only two things I had left in my cupboard was chili beans and corn. So I put them together in one big bowl and just ate the spoon with a nice spoon.
That is so disgusting.
It tasted good.
You went to the doctor's yesterday, and we all went out for lunch, Fez, and me and Earl never left him alone over the drunk stuff. He did not have you there to protect him.
Good.
So whatever story he would bring up was, were you drunk? Was that before you knew you were an alcoholic?
2 weeks in a row.
Everything that he had to say.
2 weeks in a row. That's a lot to live down.
Yeah.
Marcus, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron and Fez. Nice to speak to you guys.
Mm.
I wanted to say that I really like Dave. I really cracked up when he said he took the elevator because of the fire.
And he takes the steps all the time.
Yeah.
Right, that's why it was so funny.
He has a fear of elevators, but he thought in a fire, the smartest thing to do was to take an elevator.
It's just such a terrifying moment that my wires got crisscrossed, and I usually go stairs, don't go elevator, but the fire threw me off balance, and all of a sudden I was thinking elevator.
Well, I know now any emergency situation, you can't be listened to.
The BlackBerry.
But when you came running in here and yelled, "It's on 4," you fucking freaked out the whole thing. We think the fire is on 4, cutting us off from the ground, where we need to live and breathe as surface people.
I meant to say, yeah, the fire alarm was also on 4.
It was on every floor.
Well, because I was so scared the words weren't, I left out key words.
It's on 4, he yells. Little John's like, well, we're on 5.
That was scary. I can't believe Earl
Yes,
stayed
and you
in.
made it scarier. You nut.
Russell, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's going on, boys?
Hey, buddy.
I was on Cash Cab.
Really? What happened?
Well, let me tell you one thing first. I know Dave said he'd be good at it, but they don't have a JV Cash Cab.
Shit, Larry.
Here's one of the exciting things about Cash Cab. And it's really a ripoff of Millionaire. At one point, you can pull over and ask people in the street going by, excuse me, hello, excuse me, could you help me? We're doing a TV show.
That's something I'm good at, talking to the people on the street, asking them what year JFK or something like that.
Are you going back to your drunk stuff?
No, I'm just
trying to brag about that.
Turning into the Dave show again?
No.
You've lost the Spirit Awards today because of your panic and Earl's ability to keep it all together.
Hey,
and now I'm starting to agree with Mikey D. You were attacking Mikey D before the fire started. But now I feel like Mikey D might be onto something.
I mean, isn't the BlackBerry more important than just getting to commercials? I thought
No.
that would be.
Earl, coolness. Coolness points. The new thing on this show is going to be cool.
Well, I have human emotions. I mean, I've never said...
We all do.
I'm a very regular Joe. And so, things like smoke and fire and bells and whistles...
Even a regular Joe, you don't panic and scream it's on 4. That's the big problem. Mark, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, guys, it sounds like in a situation where Darwin said survival of the fittest, Dave there would be the first one to die. Miss Roberto.
The fireman would probably wrap him in a blanket and chuck him back into the fire. You're useless.
I did hear from my sources from the New York Fire Department that it was just a false alarm.
We all did.
That was the official word. Well,
when the truck pulled up and said, "No, it's nothing, guys. We already looked."
Oh,
that's sources.
He told that to you too?
Rod, you're on Run Fez.
Buddies.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Ronnie, you're going to be able to tell if you're going to be on cash cab if you notice that your driver is not some stinky fucking Indian.
Well, I did see that. They do have a regular kind of game show guy driving the cab. And in all my years of catching New York cabs, I can only think of one time that I had a regular American guy.
I've never had a regular guy.
Yeah.
Is the cash cab yellow, just out of curiosity? I mean, what exactly?
It looks exactly like a cab.
So it's just a regular cab?
A regular cab, a van one. People get inside. Suddenly these lights go off, and they find out they're on cash cab. Their opportunity. You start at $25 questions, $50. I think there's some hundreds. And then he tries to give you the $500 or $550 and goes, or... you could double down right now.
And he's hosting this and driving
And driving.
That's amazing.
Here's the beauty. If you get 3 wrong, you're out of the fucking cab. No matter where you are in your trip, could be raining, he just pulls over, hit the bricks, you're out. Now, the younger people, they'll pick up some people in like the 20s, they're like, fuck it, give me the 500. But older people are like, no, let's go for it.
What if you're like on the bridge or something? They'll just leave you stranded out on the bridge?
Get the fuck out. You cannot sit on a cash cab and miss questions and think he's going to drop you off. Now, don't cost you nothing, so already you're a lucky winner right from the get-go.
Now, Earl's the only one with previous game show experience. He was on remote control, but he would have a lot of trouble getting a cab, even cash cab.
That's why I'm hoping we're all in there together. Now, if you're all in together, you can work as a team. If it's just one person, you got to work yourself.
Oh, so I didn't know multiple people could be on cash cab.
Just like any cab. Just like you can split a cab, right?
Yeah. What neighborhoods, did you see?
Manhattan.
Just Manhattan. Okay.
Money-making Manhattan. They call it that for a reason.
I bet you there's a lot of cash cabs on Fifth Avenue.
There's only one cash cab. Let's get that straight.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter that a bunch of cabs out there are cash cabs. There's a game show on the Discovery Network.
But Fifth Avenue is, known for being very ritzy and having a lot of money. So you would think something with a cash cab would be on Fifth Avenue for that reason.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a game show. They pick up people. They're not looking for wealthy people. They're not looking to make money. They're giving money out. Oh. You think they want to own a game show, give money to people who go, this is nothing to me? 500? What do I care for 500?
You know how there's only one Price is Right studio?
Yes.
See, same thing.
Okay. All right. Cash cab.
Idiot.
Gary, you're on Run Fez.
Yes, I'd just like to say that Dave's a puss.
All right, see, here's the problem
I'm afraid of
with
fire.
Team Watley. We're discussing some different things, and it comes back into Dave bashing show. And it's happening every day, Fez. And you're supposed to mentor him and Crazy Jen.
I'm doing my best to mentor, and then a wild card gets thrown in like a fire drill emergency.
You felt like he was doing well today before that.
Yeah, I felt totally good about him, and then...
You felt like you were going to get a W today.
Yeah, and then here comes this curveball, and he completely falls apart in the literal baptism of fire.
Right.
Well, I apologize for being afraid of fire, which could kill people. Fire and smoke. I mean, that's one of
Right, but we're all in it together. We can't panic each other.
Yeah.
And yell everybody in the elevator.
Earl, last one to leave so that he's keeping the channel on the air for XM. Where were you, Dave? You were ahead of the hosts. You were ahead of Master Poe. You were out the door.
Master Poe left with all of his shit and kept right on going home, too. He was the smart one.
Well, that's a day for me.
I can't help it if I know the secret staircase a little better than you guys and was able to maneuver it faster.
Again, we're talking about stupid shit when we're trying to have a show.
Okay,
it's back, and Fez's reflection on Team Watley. Why go back into that crazy shit again?
All right. cash cab.
You know what I want to I want to play at the plate. I was watching that the other night on Sports Center, and I go, I want Dave at the plate.
You want me at the plate?
Yeah, and just listeners after listeners running into you. Just to play the plate over and over.